Thank you, Paul. I'm here with Jacques Etienne, the manager of Cloud9. And I want to introduce you, maybe, I'm not sure if it's going to be fully correct, as the guy who made Reggie rich.
I think Reggie made himself rich, but I was a valuable tool to help him get there.
Is the Lambo real?
No, he does not actually have a Lambo.
Okay.
Looks good, right?
Yeah, it does. I retweeted that picture.
Yeah.
So you were for quite a long time with TSM, 1.5 years or so.
Yes.
Why did you choose to leave?
I watched Cloud9, formerly Quantic, as they were getting into the LCS. We scrimmed them a lot. They had a 90% win ratio against TSM and pretty much any team out there. So I knew they were highly skilled. And when I saw the option for them to actually be taken on by me, I had to talk about it with Reggie, and he thought that it was a really good idea, and he supported the move, and that was all the encouragement I needed. I went for it.
So basically, it was a fantastic opportunity to do for yourself what you did for Reggie.
Correct. Yeah.
So, judging by what I heard right now, it was no surprise to you the degree of success that Cloud9 enjoyed in the LCS.
I knew when they actually qualified for the LCS that they were the best team in the LCS. Given the record against the other teams in the LCS, I knew they were going to make some serious waves when they came in, that there was a really good chance that they would come out on top.
What was the original plan? I mean, did you actually, like, if you have goals in your mind, did you actually put number one, that's our goal, or top three was the goal? What was the goal?
In my mind, I wanted to be number one, but I didn't really want to put that kind of pressure on the team. I just, when I told them, I just go out there, do your best, play strong, play well. But I was never putting you be number one. I tried to keep it light and not pressure them.
What makes the team work? What makes them the beast that they are in North America?
They work really hard. It doesn't come without putting in the time. They're always scrimming, always trying to figure out how they can play better. They work very hard to be where they are.
So they're pretty much the strongest team, or based on the last season's results, the strongest team in North America. However, if you look at the fame of the players, right, mm-hmm. you've got TSM, the flamboyant personalities there. Mm-hmm. You've got your CLG, you've got your Curse, Dignitas. If you look at the Twitter accounts of all these teams, they're all above Cloud9.
Right.
Is that important to you at all, that the fame factor is still kind of behind the other teams? Do you feel like it's a fair point that I'm making?
Well, yeah. I mean, the other teams are much more established, like CLG and TSM. They've been around for a while. They've got a really strong fan following. If we continue to do well, that will happen for us as well. But the other teams are where they are because of the time they've put into actually getting there.
How do you plan to catch up? Is winning enough?
It will happen naturally. If you look at the growth rate of our Facebook following and our Twitter following, it's growing at a tremendous rate. So I figure by this time next year, we'll be up on par with them.
So whilst studying up for the interview, I was kind of doing a little bit of homework, and most of the people I spoke to said that Cloud9 does not seem to have, among the players that you have, does not seem to have that Ocelot, that flamboyant guy that the fans would really get attached to. All of them are very hard workers, excellent players, but not really, you don't have this Reggie, so to speak. Do you see that as a challenge when building the brand?
I think that's going to come with time. I mean, right now, they're still like the new kid in LCS, and they're really focused on trying to prove their worth. So, the guys that you mentioned have all been around for a long time and had time to actually develop those personalities. They didn't just come out immediately and act like that and have that following. So that'll come with time.
Which player would you kind of bet on for this?
To be honest,
to be your poster boy.
They all have very interesting personalities that I think people will find very interesting. I mean, with Lemonation, I never know what's going to come out of that guy's mouth, and it's usually hilarious. So I could see that guy becoming very popular on his own. Meteos has a fantastic following that's growing very strong. Hai is a wonderful personality. Balls is a great guy. So I think they all have something to show off.
So it seems to me like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you're basically basing the growth of your, let's say, empire, so to speak, because I assume, like every other American, you want to build an empire. You're basing the growth of the empire on results, right?
Right. I mean, that's a huge part of it, of course.
I mean, there is another approach, obviously. I mean, CLG has been very, very relevant and still successful off the game, even though the results have been, compared to yours, worse. SK Gaming as well, carried by Ocelot. It seems to me, judging by our conversation here, that like you don't really appreciate having that flamboyant guy in your team.
I think it's great, and I encourage it. But like the teams you mentioned before, like CLG and SK, they've got a really long history. Like CLG was very dominant early on, so they got there because of the achievements that they were able to pull together.
Let's switch to results. You've had an amazing LCS. And as opposed to being underdogs now, you're the team to beat.
Right.
Everybody's watching you. And the guys having won the season, they're naturally not going to be as hungry as in the beginning. Is the position you're in, do you see it as a position of comfort or actually a challenging position?
To be honest, I feel, especially with season 4 coming out, it's like the table's like been reset, and we all basically need to prove ourselves all over again. The teams are looking extremely strong for next split. With Bjergesen joining TSM, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. We've been scrimming them; they look really good. So,
how good?
They look really good.
50-50 in practice?
I'm not going to go into that, but they look really good.
So, your loss here versus Gambit.
Yeah.
We spoke a little bit earlier. You said there are no excuses. You guys practiced really well. You adjusted. Any learnings to take away from the match?
Edward and Annie are scary. I mean, he's back with Gambit, and Gambit's looking really strong. And I'm glad they're going to be in Europe next split.
So what would the conclusions be for the team? I mean, what is still there to be improved?
I mean, with season 4, it's really going to be almost like learning the game all over again. So like we, starting Monday when we get back, we need to start researching, figure out what's OP, and get back together. My team is they're very dedicated, so I know like as soon as we get back, they're going to start researching right away and trying to figure out how can they get that edge for season 4.
Do you get involved at all? When there's a rough week or something like that, couple of tough defeats or something, do you get involved in that?
I'll try to like lighten the mood for sure. Take them out to dinners, make them feel good. If I see anybody like having a difficult time with it, I'll definitely support them. But I think they're going to dust themselves off from this and get right back to work and try to be ready for next season.
What kind of team owner are you? I mean, we've got these personalities in Europe in soccer, for example. We have a team owner that is willing to wait for success, and when there's a down period, he will just wait even 6 months to see if he should maybe fire the coach or not.
Right.
And then you see another owner that believes in kind of shock therapy. It's not working, it's time for a change.
Right.
Where do you sit in those terms?
I'm definitely I believe in my guys. I'm not going to go out there and try to mix things up, pull people out. I believe they have the skill and the mind to come back together and be really strong next split as well. So I'm really, I don't have a top-down type of organization. It's very flat, and everyone is going to participate, and that's our strength of this organization. It's very different than things I've done in the past. So,
am I to assume you're in favor of waiting
Yes.
to see if they get back from the slump?
Yeah, well, I know I wouldn't call it a slump.
No. I'm not. I'm talking about a hypothetical slump.
Hypothetical slump. Yeah, right now I have faith in my guys, and if they were to have a slump, I would believe that they can pull out.
So again, I'm not trying to make you say something like, if they lose 6 games, I'm going to fire one of them or something like that. But what would have to happen for you to consider actually getting involved in the team and making a change?
Well, I mean, historically, the only time I've ever been involved where a player is removed had nothing to do with actually their performance in game, but more their attitude around the game. So if I see someone no longer seems to care if the team like is winning or not, if they put themselves before the team, that's when I would get really concerned and probably get involved. But as long as they're really focused on putting the team ahead of their individual goals, then I'm happy.
Okay. Now, next question is, who's going to be your number one rival to the title in the LCS next season?
TSM, without a doubt.
TSM?
Without a doubt. They're going down.
Do you have any doubt that your team will finish first?
I think they're really good, so it's gonna be a struggle, but we're up to the challenge.
So you're the favorites.
We're gonna try really hard to be the favorites.
Okay. Thank you very much
for
this. That was Jack Etienne, and after this we will see Red Eye with the experts to bring you the analysis for the upcoming game.